Damn. Bro, whatever room you were in when you were walking from your room to the kitchen was perfect. Whatever room you were in. Huh? Oh shit. Okay, no, it's working. My shit. There it is.
Hold on one second. Almost got it. I knew it. All right, thank you. All right. Okay. All right, my boy. So we had a big difference. Okay, well first let's get Devin Haney's Devin Haney's part out of the way. So what do you think? Like in general, like what's your thoughts on Devin Haney? And just in general, like have you watched him fight before? Have you, that type of thing? Have you seen him, online? Like, what's your thoughts? I know you're not like super duper, into boxing right now or yet. But like, what's your thoughts on him? Micah, can you hear me? Micah.
Yeah. 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 Now, do you hear me?
I can hear you now, but I don't see you on the stream.
You hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I can hear you now, but
Okay.
I don't see you on the stream.
All right. So, okay. Did you hear my question?
Yeah, there's a large delay, but
Okay. Okay.
I do hear your question. So recently I was watching his fight with Santiago.
Okay.
Uh, so that I believe that was his first title defense.
Possibly. That's the skinny light skin guy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that might
yes,
have been it. Yeah,
Santiago.
yeah, that might have been his first title defense.
But I mean, like you said yourself, man. I'm just not super into boxing. He just I just hate to sound like cliche. It just reminds me of Floyd a lot. I see him use that stance, that Philly shell.
Yeah,
I see him use that a lot.
yeah.
I mean, no, obviously, I don't think anybody's more efficient with it than Mayweather, but you
Right.
know, but yes, but I see flashes of him of
Yeah.
Mayweather really.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. Well, I agree with you. But you know that in that Santiago fight, like that was like that's not my favorite fight by him at all, you know, by any means. Like
Mm,
that fight, you know, he didn't get I don't think he found his style yet. You should watch
mm,
Devin Haney versus Jorge Linares. That was my favorite performance by him.
yeah.
You gotta watch that one because he is like literally so identical to Floyd in that fight. It's insane. But you know, like he does use the Philly shell pretty well. He does look very similar to Floyd. I'd probably say he's probably the most similar. In like the new era, I would say nowadays definitely the most similar because he boxes really well, man. He just boxes really well. Like
Yeah,
people
that's
underestimate his boxing ability, you know what I'm saying? And then when they get in there, he has a really good jab, extremely beautiful jab, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so crisp and it's just, you know, it keeps you honest. It keeps you honest, you know what I'm saying? Like people say he doesn't have power, but you know, these guys aren't walking through him, right? So you know, he must be hitting you hard enough to a
but
point where you're not just walking through him.
doesn't he because how many wins does he have now?
He has 28 wins now.
28. But I saw a thing that said like he had like 28 wins and like it was like 20 by knockout or 21 by knockout or something like that.
15 by
15 by
knockout.
knockout. Okay.
Yeah,
Then I'm
which
thinking of Tank.
yeah, no, Tank is 27 wins, 25 by knockout. Tank is a different beast, man. Tank is a different beast, bro. Like Tank, but you know, like him versus Tank though, Devin Haney versus Tank, that's gonna be a humongous fight.
That's what I was gonna ask you
Yeah,
about is
yeah.
why what man, what are these guys like afraid to fight each other? I don't even hear them talking back and forth. I've seen a little bit of like the sparring talk
Yeah.
from like I just saw like Tank was saying like Floyd was holding him back from hitting Devin
Hmm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the story is, um, first they sparred once. Apparently Tank got the best of Devin, right? They sparred again a couple years later. Apparently Devin got the best of Tank. But this is the thing. Apparently, most people are saying that it wasn't even close, that Devin was just outclassing him, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You know, now I don't know if you know Floyd Mayweather was helping him. That we've only heard that from Tank. But senior you know, Floyd's dad said the fight wasn't even close. You know, he said, you know, Devin just put on a clap, you know, put on a, you know,
I did see that too. I saw
yeah,
that as well.
yeah. So like, I think if they fight, man, honestly, I think if they fight, I have Devin winning. It's a 50-50 fight though, because if Tank lands,
Power, yeah, power is always a factor.
you know,
Yes,
and like he has power, but he also can box very well. But at the same time, the dimensions of Tank don't really work well with a good straight pure boxer like Devin. Devin is 5'8", 5'9", with like I think it's like a 70 arm
it's
length, right?
long. Yeah, he's
Right,
long.
it's long, and then Tank is like 5'6", 5'5", with a 67 or some or 66 or 67
He's
arm
my
length.
size, bro.
Right.
Thank
So, you know, he's not the biggest guy, and then like, you know, you're going against someone that knows how to box very well. Like they're both great boxers. So,
mm,
you know, if I'm fighting Tank the whole time, bro, I'm just keeping him away from that jab, keeping him. You know, what I'm saying just boom, boom, boom the whole night. I'm not letting him get close to me because if he lands, I mean, I could go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So, I think Devin is going to fight the fight like that. I think he's not going to take much chances. You know, it's going to be up to Tank to, you know, press him to make him make a mistake, and it would have to be a fatal one because you know what I'm saying. You know, like if he lands, I mean, he can knock anyone out from
yeah.
one from 130 to probably even 147. I think he can knock like most like 90% of the fighters out. You know what I'm saying? And that says something, bro. Like if you're,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? So that's just gonna be a crazy fight, man, when it happens. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but you know, that's gonna be another huge fight. Another huge fight that's coming up is Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. I know you've heard me talk about that before. Um,
Yes.
that fight is going to be humongous, bro. I'm going to that fight. It's in Las Vegas. Would you be down to go, bro? Because I don't have anyone
Oh
to go
yeah,
with
for
me.
sure.
Yeah, bro.
I have
Because
not. I have not been to a fight yet. So
me neither. I mean, me neither, bro. So I'm a yeah, because that fight I think it's gonna happen in October. It's gonna happen in October. So
okay.
we can go, pick up the tickets and then split on the hotel and we just
Mm-hmm.
spend the weekend there, bro. And that's gonna be the big that I'll tell you, bro, that's gonna be the fight that's talked about in 20, 30, 40 years. 100%.
You
100%, bro.
think so?
Oh yeah, that's it's the biggest fight in boxing, bro. It's the last big fight like this happened 40 years ago. That was Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That was a ridiculous fight, man. You got to watch that one, bro. Um, but like
Bro, I
man,
wanted to
mm,
ask you something, man.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm so reluctant to ask it because it's like I'm just gonna ask you. But
Yeah,
what do
yeah,
you
go ahead.
think? What do you think about this guy? So I heard recently, um, I can't remember which person said it. Basically saying that Ryan Garcia, like he's like essentially the weakest link among the like new school boxers. So
I would. What's the question?
I mean, do you agree?
I completely agree.
Why do you
Um,
think? But what do you think his issue is, though?
okay, well, I'll split up in two, right? I'll split up in two answers. The issue with him immediately, as in, him as a boxer itself, right? He doesn't want to fight anyone. He ducked Devin Haney. He ducked a lot of people. He basically ducked Tank Davis as well because they were
Yeah,
about
I
to make
did
the
see
fight.
that.
You know what I'm saying? They're about to make the fight, and then he pulls out and says he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao, which Manny Pacquiao already said that was a complete lie. You know what I'm saying? So I think honestly, bro, I think what he does
He
is
would
he
have gotten
uses.
starched.
Oh, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But I think what he, I think what he does, bro, is he uses Tank's name for clout. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
even
that's
right now,
a
bro,
that's
he's
a
exactly because he has a fight next month, right? And all of a sudden now he's talking about, oh, I want to fight Tank, this and that. For us to even talk about him, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying?
yeah. I
Um,
watched his fight he had against what was this guy Tego?
yeah. It's like, and then he's gonna call Devin Haney boring, bro. That fight was just trash.
That fight was garbage. That fight was.
Garbage, just straight booty, bro. Like just you know what I'm saying? Very bad fight. You know what I'm saying? And against the guy that you should have knocked out. First of all, we've never even heard of this dude before ever. I think he's only fought out of like Africa like maybe once or twice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So but I'll get to his boxing ability. He is not a good boxer, bro. But he has
I,
power. He has power and he has fast hands, but his feet work are bad and he keeps his chin up to the sky. So if someone comes and put it to you this way, bro, he fought Luke Campbell back in 2021, I believe, and Luke Campbell dropped him in the second round.
yeah,
Luke
yeah.
Campbell is not a big puncher by any means. By any means, he's not a world champion. He's fought for the belt, but he's never won a world champion. Um, he was a Olympic gold medal, so I'll give him that. But he's never been a world champion. You know what I'm saying? So if a fighter that can pop can
Hmm.
crack an egg, they're gonna knock him out, hands down, hands down. They're gonna knock him out because if a fighter that's not a big puncher but just knows how to place his punches well. The thing is, bro, Ryan, he doesn't have the biggest. He doesn't have the best ring IQ, right?
Yeah, I agree.
He's enamored with power. He wants to knock you out. And you know, if you let me see what the oh shit. So if we again, like I said, if someone comes there with some power like Tank, and Tank does better against guys that are taller, that are bigger than him because it's a puzzle to make. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why I think
Yeah.
he's gonna have issues with with Devin is because he's a superb boxer as well. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
Yeah.
not just, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not someone that doesn't know how to box, knows how to box. Um, so that's that on that one. But yeah, I think Shakur Steve. Have you heard of Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I think Shakur Stevenson has taken his place, has taken Ryan's place as the Four Kings. They call the Four Kings as in Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and they were saying Ryan Garcia, but I think Shakur Stevenson took his place. Teofimo Lopez is still in there because, in my opinion, bro, Teofimo Lopez fought that George Kambosos fight very stupidly. I don't know if you watched it, but in the first round, he literally sprinted to George. I mean, I'm not lying. He literally sprinted to George and tried to knock him out. The first thing he sprint. I mean, it was just a terrible way to to fight the
So
fight.
Teofimo Lopez though, I was watching something about Lomachenko. Well, apparently, like Lomachenko went into that fight though with like a shoulder injury.
Yeah, that's what they say. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. But all I know is I don't. I can't. It's not an excuse because one, he still won rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11 convincingly against Teofimo Lopez. So if you could do it in those rounds, why couldn't you do it in the first 7 rounds? You know what I'm saying? The reason why he lost the fight was because he didn't turn it on early enough. I think what he was scared of Timo Lopez's power. I think he overestimated him. I think because had he started earlier, he would have won that fight. Lomachenko would have won that fight if he had started earlier. But the thing is that he
Mm.
didn't do too much in the first 7 rounds, so you had to give it to Teofimo Lopez. You had to, and then the 12th round, Teofimo Lopez, beat he did better than Lomachenko, but 8, 9, 10. I mean, I remember watching that fight vividly, and I remember I was shocked at what Lomachenko was doing to Teofimo Lopez because the angles that he was using. Teofimo Lopez is not the greatest boxer, bro. He's not the greatest boxer. He's a boxer puncher, but he can't fight on the back foot. Tank will knock him out. Devin will outbox him. Shakur will outbox him. It's still a good fight for all of them, though. They should all still fight, though. You know what I'm saying? It's still a good fight. It's still, competitive fight, but he can't fight on the back foot, bro. He can't. And if you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? So he has to press you.
Mm.
And you know what I'm saying? Like if you know what I'm saying, like if you're gonna press him, you got him. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much got him. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, bro. Literally, it's just one of those things that we just gotta see these fights, man. We could speculate for years and years, but we need to see the actual fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long are we gonna keep wondering about these things? We need to see the fights now.
I feel like boxers are scared though. I feel
That's
like
fair,
boxers
man.
are scared in a way that MMA fighters are not scared.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right
I feel
because
like in MMA it's like they forgive law, like the loss does not mean anything in MMA like
exactly, bro.
as much.
Not at all, bro. Like in boxing, bro, your career might be over if you lose one fight. You know what I'm saying? Like one fight can change your whole career, the whole you know what I'm saying trajectory of your whole career.
So I
Because
guess
no, go ahead.
like you have to give guys like Canelo props in a way because I mean someone like Bivol is a risk, right?
Well, here's the thing about Canelo, right? The thing about Canelo is that I generally think that was a cherry pick. Now, most people didn't even. Okay, I think about it like this. Okay, going into that fight, Canelo was a 4-1 favorite.
For real?
So that means that people did not believe in Bivol, and not, you know what I'm saying, at all.
Yeah.
Bro, I told you. I remember I texted you. I said, "This is another fight that Canelo's gonna take that someone that's not on his level." And that's what I thought. I didn't think any. I watched Bivol fight before. I just thought he wasn't gonna do enough. And the main thing was that because Canelo picked him, bro. Canelo, what he does is there's certain people that they want to they what we want to see him fight because we think that they have the best chance of beating him.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't want to fight those guys. Those guys are Demetrius Andrade, Jamal, or I think it's Jamal Charlo,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
David
yeah.
and David Benavidez. Those three guys, people have been calling for those fights for years.
Dude, that got that Charlo
Years.
guy.
See,
That Charlo guy.
Charlo's a different character, man. But I think Andrade could easily. I think Andrade could beat him, bro. I think even honestly, bro, I don't have much faith in Canelo anymore because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. He didn't just get beat. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't just get beat like it was a close fight, bro. He got dominated from round 1 to 12. Literally. I mean,
I
I
think
gave
people know how to fight him now. Is that
see,
what you're? I see what you're saying.
precisely.
I see what you're
Because
saying.
look, not everyone can do what Floyd can do, right? Not everyone can
Yeah.
do that, but a lot of people can do what Bivol just did. It's not that, you know what I'm saying? All you have to do is box him. Don't let him bully you. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
make sure you have enough conditioning to stay strong, and you know what I'm
The
saying.
body.
Yeah, right. Enough, you know what I'm saying. So make sure
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
get hurt by his butt his shots to your arm because that's what he does. He'll hit you in the arm, then you drop your guard, and then he'll come with with the hook to the chin. So if you can, and that's what Bivol did, bro. He stayed composed. He stayed to the game plan. Hands here, you know what I'm saying. Made sure his hands were conditioned, but you could see his hands were red. His arms were red. You know what I'm saying? Because they're getting hit, but he conditioned himself. You know what I'm saying? And he weathered the storm and he made it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is, bro, Canelo got dominated, bro. Like he didn't, like I said, it's different if it was a close fight. It's different if it was just a close fight, but he got dominated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you've never
Mhm.
seen Floyd Mayweather get dominated. You've never seen Tank Davis get dominated. You've never seen Devin Haney get dominated. You've never seen Errol Spence get dominated. You've never seen, you know what I'm saying, Terrence Crawford get just, I mean, dominated, outboxed. You've never seen that. So, I mean, do I have him on my pound for pound list? He might be 7 or 8 or, probably in the top, like, he might be top, maybe 10, 8 or 9, one of the, 10, 8 or 9. I have him in the lower tier, but he's not top 5 for me anymore. Not at all. Not at all. My um my pound for pound probably goes Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, um Jermell Charlo, because he's undisputed at 154. And then I would say Devin Haney because he just became undisputed. Um I would then go honestly, bro, I'm gonna say Tank, bro, and I'm gonna say Shakur Stevenson. I have to think of the rest, but I put Tank over Shakur because I think Tank does better with pressure, bro. Like Shakur is a great master boxer, bro, right?
Mhm.
And like I don't see anyone else beating him other than Tank and Devin. But when I saw him against Oscar Valdez, he just didn't like the pressure that Oscar Valdez was, even though it wasn't much. But if someone comes
Mhm.
like Tank and pressures him, right? I mean, he'll probably do well either way, but I think Tank might have this, the power and the skill to beat him. Um,
Mhm.
but we have to see these fights, man. We gotta see
Yeah.
them. You
Okay.
know.
We might have to like restart the call and then talk about MMA.
Yeah, I think it's gonna end. Okay, let me restart it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Okay, bet. Wait. Did that happen?
So what happened?
Okay, bet. All right, cool.
Yeah, let me just make sure everything is straight on. Well,
Right. So, so we should talk about the three. Oh, hello, party people. Where the hell? Let me go to YouTube real quickly and check.
okay. So you want to
Yep.
talk about the three what?
The three title fights that happened.
Yeah, last night you're talking about?
Yes.
Ah, man,
So,
bro. Like the funny part is, bro. Like I didn't even know that fight, that card was even happening, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Someone told me out of nowhere, like, "Yo, are you watching the fight this week?" I'm like, "What fight?" And when I tell you, bro, I was so pleasantly surprised at those fights last night. Truthfully, I was so pleasantly surprised, man. They were,
and man, there's always a card like that. There's always, I mean, like that's the thing, bro, is like with the UFC is they try to like stack like four cards every year, like every 3 months. They try to like just stack and make a crazy event. So like that's the thing is they always deliver, man, because it's just like
yeah,
it's just like they have those that they try to, and then those always come through, and then
yeah.
they also have the ones where it's just like they throw them together, and then they'll be masterful, man. But just good fights. But what do you think about the Joanna fight, Joanna and Wei Lee?
Honestly, bro, I really wanted Joanna to win. I, I, I really wanted her to win, man. I just like her personality. I like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
what you know, I'm not saying I know her the best, but I like what she represent, what she represents I just like her style. I like the way, her energy, you know what I'm saying? It's very, out there.
yeah.
Um, it's funny because I feel like Wei Lee, I feel like she gets hated on for no reason. I, I mean,
She's
personally,
Chinese, bro. She's Chinese.
like, yo, like, I just,
Hey, I'm new to
like, I
YouTube,
just don't want to
okay?
see her win. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to see her win per se. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you wanna. I, I think from the first strike, I was like, oh, it's not gonna be good because Wei Lee landed just a straight cracking right
Yeah,
hand.
Whaley's power is ridiculous. Do you see the way Whaley is built, bro? Do you
Yeah,
see the way Whaley is built? You see her traps, right? It's just
she is
power.
facts. Like she is big. She is big, man. She has a lot of muscle. So, which makes it just like even crazier how Thug Rose, did what she did to her, man. Like, isn't that you know what I'm saying? Like twice, no?
Yes.
Yeah, twice, right?
Yeah.
Twice, bro. Thug Rose is real, but her last fight was,
Yeah. Rose is ridiculous.
yeah. But she just
I'm
was. She fought that fight stupid against what was it, Esparza?
yeah. Yeah, man. It was she was
Trash.
just afraid to let it go, man. That's what happens when I don't know. I really don't know why she didn't open up more, especially when she fought someone like Whaley and knocked her out in like the first round with that
Yeah.
kick. I
I
mean,
think I think what it was that she knew she lost to her before. I think the nerves were getting to her a little bit too much. Like she didn't want to engage too much, but you know, she could have easily won the fight, man. She just had to like even if she just won one round convincingly, she would have won the fight. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Just one round.
yeah, man. I mean, you saw it happen when people lose. they can get gunshot, especially when they get knocked out. You see, like Tyron Woodley, how he just kind of fell from grace.
Yeah,
He he just got gun shy. Essentially, is what happened.
right.
Uh,
They don't want to let their hands go. You know what I'm saying? Like they get that's like Adrian Broner too. Once he fought Maidana, he was never the same, man. He was never the same. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't let his hands go anymore. But in the UFC, I would think that's a little bit different. But I guess maybe like you said, when you
no,
get
it's the same. Same. I mean, some people just can't psychologically come back from getting knocked out or even losing.
Mhm.
With to that person. I mean, like people can tend to like build people up in your head, like what you said about Lomachenko. Like you build people up in your head. So that's
Yeah,
what Rose did, bro. She built her up in her head, and then she became afraid. But it's like I don't know. At some point, you just can't be afraid to lose. At
literally,
some point.
you gotta just go for it. Like you literally just have to go for it. Like have you been sparring in your UFC stuff? Like
Oh
sorry,
yeah,
I mean
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So like the feeling of sparring, bro. Like sometimes, bro, obviously you don't want to get hit. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
you
Bro,
know,
I take shots, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
yeah. Sometimes you just have to go in like you know, boxing is the feeling of it, bro. That when you're sparring is just I love it. I truthfully I love it. But sometimes like I've sparred this one dude, like what I'm saying, that was like way bigger than me. Like he probably like 170, 180 at the time. I'm 140. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And you know, you could like he hits me, bro. I'm like, damn, like you can feel it. But sometimes, man, you just literally just have to go for it and just take the risk. You know what I'm saying? And see what happens. Like so, obviously it's just different in a professional fight, of course, but
Bro, my
you know,
that's my thing is I think I could take a shot because I think I could do it because I or maybe I'm just used to it. I'm small, so I just always spar with people who are bigger than me. I think I'm just used to it. And like the thing is in jujitsu, man, it's like you always go hard.
right. Oh, so you guys don't really do too much light sparring?
No, in jujitsu, it's like it's a grappling, so it's like you always go hard. So it's like you catch stuff too. Like I remember, this might have been Wednesday. I was sparring and I took a knee to like behind my ear, and I didn't really know, but like I went home and there was like a whole knot back here, like I,
God damn.
like
Oh,
right behind my ear.
Lord have mercy, bro. Yeah, yeah. I believe you, bro. It can get hectic, I'm sure. It can get hectic.
Yeah, cause dude I was sparring with was probably like two something, like
Mhm.
200.
Holy shit. God, really?
Yeah. So I
Damn.
mean, you got to work your technique.
Yeah. But that, all those things just make you a better fighter, of course, when you spar bigger people. You know what I'm saying? When you spar,
I feel like that's why. I mean, for two reasons. I mean, that's why you see a lot of these like the fighters in the lower classes are so skilled, man.
yeah. Right, because
They're
all
so
the big
technical.
dudes, heavyweights and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's facts, bro. That's facts. Even boxing, bro. Like Errol Spence, he was fighting, heavyweight. I think he was fighting heavyweights, or light heavyweights or something like that, and it was, he was beating up on them. So yeah, man, that's the way. Fighting bigger dudes, fighting just more. See, for me, I like not so much bigger dudes, but dudes are just like way more skilled. Because I adapt so well. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
Hmm.
I remember I was fighting in the summer. I'm fighting my one dude. He's probably like he might be a 6 foot, bro. He's either 6 foot or he's 5'11". And we fought a couple times, and like, I was like very reluctant to like, kind of like engage and everything like that. But
Hmm.
one thing I learned, bro, is like with bigger guys, bro, they have certain things that they can and can't do. Well, if they're not using their length right, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things you can do with a bigger guy because simply, you know, they can't be as fast as you because one, you're smaller, right? So you can generate, you know,
You just move.
more. You can move quicker and you can generate more power quickly. Maybe not more power in like totality, but you
Yeah.
can more torque quicker. You know what I'm saying? Because you have less time. You have less you're moving less. You
Yeah.
know, so you know what I'm saying. I pick up things like that. Like it just helps a lot, man, when you're fighting someone just more skilled and just and a lot of times when they're bigger than you as well, because you pick up on certain things and then you use it when you're actually fighting. Um,
Yeah.
but it's
Well,
definitely very good.
yeah. What'd you think about Valentina and Talia?
Okay, yeah. So this is
You
what I
thought
was thinking,
about?
man.
Did you
This is what
think?
this is
No,
what I
but
was
go
saying.
ahead.
So honestly, bro, like I said, I had Talia winning that fight 3-2. I know you said the same thing, 3-2.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna ask you what your score was because I had the score because I have the scorecard. I mean, I had my own scorecard. I had 48-47 for
or
Talia.
yeah, I yeah, I had the same thing. I had the same thing. I had Talia winning the first three, and then I had her losing the last two. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying, and I think mainly it was because of that headbutt, in my personal opinion, bro. Because
yeah,
once
I
your eye
agree.
starts to go down, bro, like you could tell she was physically tired, she was hurt, you know what I'm saying, and
Hmm.
she just wasn't engaging as much, you know what I'm saying. She was more on the back foot, but even though she still got Valentina on the ground, she still was doing her thing, and she still kind of changed the
Yeah,
tide. Didn't do enough to win those two last rounds. You know what I'm saying? But
it
honestly,
was because man, really because Valentina, early, like really at the beginning of the third round, she made an adjustment. Valentina is very used to essentially being able, like she's a balanced fighter.
right.
She's very
Well,
able. She's very well rounded. Like she's just super skilled. Like she's just she's at a different level, man. She's very used to dominating both aspects of the fight. Um, because that's how she's used to fighting. She'll close the distance. She'll clinch with you. Um, but she just can't do that against Talia because Talia is just such a. I mean, I don't know where her level is as far as Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, but her grappling is just, excuse me, her grappling is just
different level, man.
yeah,
Different.
it was just a different level. She
She,
also had the strength. I mean, you could see in some of those scrambles, it
yeah,
looked like at times like Valentina was gonna get back up or she was gonna end up on top,
yeah,
but she did not have enough
yeah,
essentially to keep
yeah,
scrambling,
yep,
and
yep,
she would end up on the bottom.
yep.
Um, but that's just being worn out. Like the stronger fighter, like the stronger fighter in that, like when technique is like equal, like the stronger fighter is just gonna win out.
Right.
Um, because I think that in terms of technique they are actually pretty similar, but Talia is just strong. Talia, I mean, like you saw it. Like Talia, like she would take Talia down. Talia would just pop back up.
Pop back up, bro. I
She's
think I think her
strong.
strength is a big factor, but also just like Oliveira, bro, she is crafty, man. She is crafty as hell. You saw the
Yeah,
way, like, I'm pretty sure Valentina took her down one time, and Shorty literally did like a flip, and you know what I'm saying, and like,
she
and
rolled. Yeah, she rolled.
she moved her feet, and she got her in
Hmm.
like a triple type of thing. Like, that's crafty.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking about the. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, like it's craftiness, bro. And it's funny because they're from the same place, Brazil. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. I mean, I, the the grappling out is just gonna be good, man. It's just gonna be good out there.
Good, good,
So
man.
it's
That's what they do.
so my it's. I mean, just to let you know, my coach right at the Brazilian place at the BJJ place I go to, he got his black belt from Carlson Jr. from Carlson Gracie Jr.
Oh
and
shit. Okay.
so he was talking about how Hoist Gracie, how he came to the UFC and he did all that stuff where he did everything that he did in the UFC and just showcase grappling in the UFC, and he's basically the pioneer of grappling in MMA. And like he's
Yeah, I've heard
because
that.
he like the UFC started, bro, and it was like I mean, you could just describe it as essentially chaos. Like, like back when the UFC first started, like you could wear gis and stuff like that. You could wear
Right.
shoes.
I think
You
from
didn't
the
have to.
90s.
You
Yeah,
didn't have
since
to wear gloves. There was no judges. There was no rounds.
There was no,
No, there
no.
was no judges. There was no judges, and that was a later thing. So it was just like it was just like basically a TKO. It was basically they did it like, Vale Tudo style,
Wow. No, I had no
Like
clue.
Muay Thai style. It was basically like if you don't get knocked, or excuse me, they did it like Vale Tudo, like 20-minute rounds. Like if you don't get knocked out, it was a draw.
Right.
Like, and that's actually how they did it in like they do in jujitsu tournaments. They do 20-minute, 1 20-minute round for like I forget what rule set it is, but they do 1 20-minute round, and if no one gets tapped, then it's a draw. Um, but yeah, but that was a thing that he was telling me about Hoist Gracie, is that Hoist Gracie was like looks like here he was in terms of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like people thought that he was like a super high level black belt. He technically was not, but he was just so good. Like those guys over in Brazil are just so good
So
at
good.
grappling. Like
Oh,
they were like like obviously I don't want to disrespect Hoist Gracie because he's obviously a pioneer. Like he shaped the sport. The sport would not be what it is today, like without him. Like Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools are popping up everywhere, and MMA gyms are popping up everywhere because of people like him, because of pioneers, because of people like him, because of promoters like Dana White and stuff like that. But he essentially in Brazil he would get beat up on by other higher level black belts.
okay. That's
So
how.
it's like so it's
That's how.
like he's not even the cream of the crop, is basically what I'm saying.
Right.
And
Right.
but
Right.
he comes here and he becomes essentially a legend of the
Right.
sport.
Right. Well, that's usually what happens because you know when you come around, especially a place like America, bro, like where see a lot of people realize think that if you're really good at any type of certain fighting style that you have to compete. That's not true because a lot of people don't compete. They might just be instructors or they just keep it to themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like my teacher in Connecticut, he was really good, but he didn't compete. He was not a competitor. He was an instructor. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
when you have, people like that, you know, like you said, like he was getting beat up on guys, dudes was beating him up that were way better than him. Those guys probably never competed. Maybe
Hmm.
they did, I don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
you know
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
What I'm saying? Like some people, bro, are insanely good, but they just don't compete. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not for everyone to compete, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because to compete, bro, I mean, you're getting hit in the face, in the head, in the brain. You know what I'm saying? All parts of your body for money. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to be doing that.
I
You know
mean,
what
you're right, dude. You're
I'm saying?
right.
So, it's crazy to think that some people are, there's someone better than, way better than Silva. There's someone way better than, Usman. You know what I'm saying? Like way better, but they just don't compete. So there's always someone
Yeah.
out there. There's always someone out there.
Probably,
But
yeah, that's certain things, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But Talia,
Like a specialist, I mean.
yeah, right. But
See,
Talia,
that's
I
oh,
think
go
if
ahead.
they fight again, bro, I think Talia's gonna win. I think if she stays composed,
If Talia um listen, so first of all, I want to say that um if Valentina, we're just gonna operate off if Valentina lost the fight, because I think Valentina actually lost the fight.
facts.
But if Valentina would have fought like a kickboxer, like it's in the end, like that's what she was doing essentially. Because
See,
like
see,
when
which is true, but at the same time, at the beginning of the fight too, well, she wasn't as aggressive, right? So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
mm,
But at the same time, Talia was still banging with her. She was still banging with her when in the first, 3 rounds when she was on her feet, she was still banging. I mean, I
mm,
would say that Valentina was getting a little bit of the best of her on her feet, but I can say that she was still banging with Valentina. You know what I'm saying? Like she was
uh
still there. You get what I'm saying? So, I think I don't know if it's gonna work for her. If she's gonna just rely on
well
the
well
stand-up game.
go ahead. Well, here's the thing that you got to think about too, is you have to keep in mind it's like data downloading. So like when you think of like look at for example, like a fighter like Piotr Jan in like the in bantamweight. So like I mean to like a people like an analyst or something like that. Like he's like the best data downloader in the UFC division or in the UFC organization, in my
Right.
opinion. Because like for example, like if you watch the fight with Aldo, like
Yeah.
Aldo goes from winning that first round from it being a very competitive first round to like Aldo in the fourth round like withering and getting finished.
Right.
Because like he's just like same thing with Corey Sandhagen. It was like it went from a very competitive fight to Piotr Jan just taking over. Because
Right.
Piotr Jan is just like he learns you.
Right.
He
Right. He adapts.
he's so good at that, man. He's so good at just learning your exact tendencies, setting traps for you, and then just springing them at the right moments. So like that's the thing. So like over the fight, what this here's what I'm saying. Like if she would have fought like a kickboxer. So like if you look at someone like Israel, he does a whole lot of just
You gotta.
picking you off from like
You gotta.
distance, and he will he has impeccable takedown defense. And like if he gets to the ground, he knows enough that
Right.
he can, like for example, like in the Vittori fight, he got taken down 4 times in the second Vittori fight. So twice he got back up, and then the other 2 times he ended up reversing the position. So what I'm saying is, if she would have fought that fight like from the jump, like a kickboxer,
Mhm.
like if she would have kept her at distance, because that was the adjustment I was saying in the third round, was she started keeping her at distance. She
Right.
started
Right.
defending
True.
those takedowns.
True.
She
True.
would have been she would have broken her down. Like she would have broken her down over the rounds. Because like if your game plan is right, if your game plan is I'm Talia Santos and I have the grappling advantage. If I go in there and my in plan A is not working, and I go to plan B and that's not working, like I'm just gonna get broken down. So that's why I say like she had a clear striking advantage.
Right.
Like
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
so clear striking
I'm
advantage.
listening. I'm
Like
listening. Keep going, though. Keep going.
yeah, but I'm just saying if Valentina Shevchenko was able to, if she was smarter about it, if she had better IQ about it from the very first round, she would have just dominated that fight. Like wouldn't have been left up to judges. She
Right.
would have she would have I think that she could have won like 4 rounds. She could have won 4-1 if
Yeah.
she would have.
Right. Because that first round was close. The first round was close, but I feel what's her name? Talia just did enough at the end of the round, or at least through the half point of the round. She did enough to win it, in my opinion. But she was doing well. She was definitely outstriking her. She was doing better striking her, for the most part. So yeah, I get what you're saying, and it's a good example, like you said, with Izzy, because if she fought the fight like Izzy, yeah, it would have been her, saying a lot, on it wouldn't have been close. Put it to you that way. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have been as close as it was. Um, but we got to see how she does next time, man. Because the thing is about it too is because even when she was doing well in those last 2 rounds, she was still close to her, and she was still trying to, beat her on the ground. Which at the end of the day, bro, Talia's just better on the ground. At least in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
It was just better. So I don't know if it's just her nature to get close up to you and try to, put you on the ground, or just try to dominate you on the ground. I don't know if that's her nature.
Mm-hmm.
If she had stayed on the, on her feet the whole entire fight, obviously, Talia's gonna try not to take you down, but at the same time, Valentina was, I was, striking her, boom, boom, but then she'd get close to her and then try to take her down. You get what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
don't think that was working well for her at all. You know what I'm saying? Because even in those last 2 rounds that she was winning, Talia still had her moments. She still had her moments. It was
Indeed.
it wasn't like a blowout round for her. It was just Talia did, or sorry, Valentina just did a little bit more. So she would have to be very disciplined. She would have to be very, very disciplined to
Yeah.
beat her.
Stick to the game plan.
Right, to beat Talia decisively. She has to stay disciplined. And on the other hand, Talia has to make Valentina uncomfortable again, and she has to keep it there the whole entire fight.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's just that it's so hard with Valentina because she's just such a well-rounded fighter
Right.
to put her in situations that she's just never been in,
Right.
and she's experienced as well.
Yes, yeah, no.
Experienced. She's defended that belt now
Right.
8 times.
8 times, man. That's huge. That's huge. That's close to Wilder. Wilder defended it 10 times.
Yeah,
10 title defenses, you know what I'm saying? So, once you start getting up past that seven, even six, even five, five is, was great. You know what I'm saying? But once you start getting past five, you've seen a lot, you know what I'm saying? You've seen a lot. So, but what did you
yeah,
think about the Teixeira fight? I'll wait to hear your opinion first.
bro. I wrote down probably the most about that fight. I mean,
Let me hear
bro. First of all, listen. I am so surprised. I like just astonished, and I admire Glover Teixeira's his longevity. Like very you can liken it to someone like Bernard Hopkins. Like if you're a boxing fan, like someone who is at a high level, deep into into what is considered like way past their prime.
Right.
What Glover is like, obviously, you know, I feel like that last sequence his age was showing. Um, it was just him not having enough to because he essentially gave up. Yuri didn't even have the hooks in that choke.
Right, right. That's right, right, right. Let me
Um,
tell you this, bro. Let me tell you this, man. I will say, I think Glover made some serious mistakes, man. In that,
100%. He
like, I was, it was to the point where, bro, like, before he got tapped out, I would have gave the fight to Glover. It was still close as hell. Like,
Yeah, it was a
it could
very
have went
close
either way.
fight.
It could have went
I
either way. I didn't know which round. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have seen it go Glover's way. I could have seen it go the other
I
guy.
well, hold on. Let me
Who
see.
did you have winning before the submission?
See, okay, see, going into that round, I had it tied.
See?
I had it around a piece. I had Glover winning first round, and then I had Yuri winning the second round.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, yeah, I had it 19-19 going into the third,
That fight was
and
close, bro.
yeah,
That
no,
fight
it
was
was.
literally nip and tuck, bro. It was just so razor sharp close. But Glover, here's the thing with Glover. I mean, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Glover could
man,
have finished him that last round. Glover had him hurt.
he had him
Man,
very
like,
hurt, and then he
hurt.
dove.
And then the guy goes and brings him down. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it
You're
was
gonna let
it.
you know he's gonna let him recover. He should have just kept on. He could have finished him on the standing up.
Yeah,
Because
Mark.
I think the ref would have stopped it if he kept getting rocked.
Yeah, I mean that's Mark. You're actually 100% correct because I mean there was a couple of mistakes. Um, there were mistakes that Yuri made as well. I mean, but
Yeah, oh yeah,
look,
for sure. No doubt.
there were
No doubt.
mistakes that Yuri made as well. But as far as Glover, my bad. As far as the mistakes that Glover made, he dove on. Yes, you were mentioning he went for the takedown. He went for the double leg when he had him hurt up against the cage.
Just
Also, well, just out of nowhere, I don't. He dove for he didn't dive, but he went for a guillotine.
mm, mm,
The guillotine attempt, which I don't know why he did. When you're already sweaty in the match, he could very easily, if he knows how to defend that, or even if you're tired, you're not going to be able to. Because the guillotine, man, when you get that guillotine, it's a squeeze. You got to squeeze the head, you got to squeeze the neck, and then you have to stretch out. Because you have the guy in your guard, so you have him in your full guard, so you have to close it. You have to squeeze him, and then you have to stretch out, and like you have to have energy to do that.
right.
So, like, if you look at, for example, Volkanovski and Ortega, Volkanovski had a guillotine locked up on Ortega, but Volkanovski essentially just weathered the storm, and Ortega just tired out his arms, and then Volkanovski popped his head out, and
Hmm.
he was out. So when you're late in the fight, you have the guy hurt. You guys are both sweaty. You're both tired. It's a higher
It's
weight
not the
class.
best thing.
You're
It's not the
yeah,
best thing.
it's the worst possible thing for you to do. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's the worst possible thing for you to do, and that's the thing about. I think he part of the reason he did that is because like he was tired.
Yeah, I think that was
I
the main thing.
think
I think he was just so tired and exhausted and just
I
wanted the
think
fight to be over.
I think he was
Um,
tired, and
I think yeah, no, go ahead.
I think that he thought that he kind of had it in the bag,
Hmm.
and you know when you're both tired and you think that you have it in the bag, if you think that you're gonna if you think that you're gonna be just complacent when you're just tired, if
Right,
you're tired and you think that you won the fight,
right. It's a different level, man. You're just gonna try to coast. You're gonna try anything you can do to just make it to that fifth and last in that
and you
last
think
second or fifth round.
it's that last mile, dude. If you're
Yeah,
running 10, it's
right,
that
right.
last
You
mile.
can't, you can't, you can't. In boxing, you might be able to do not exactly what we're, not exactly that, but you might be able to coast a little bit. You can't get careless though. But in UFC, it could change like that.
There's
And we
too
saw
many
that.
factors, man.
There's too many factors, bro. Like there's too much things that can go wrong in MMA, bro. Like there's just too much things that can go wrong. You can make the wrong move and it can all be, of course, any punch in boxing, the fight could be over, but it's a little bit less things to worry about. But MMA,
Thing is, bro, early in the round. Here's why I think he was tired too. Early in the round, Yuri, like in the third round, going into the round where he got submitted, Yuri was actually because I wrote it down. I did notes. Yuri was winning the striking exchanges, and he
yeah, oh,
adjusted. He was
yep,
stuffing Glover's takedowns. I think he stuffed like I think he had to have stuffed like three take. I can't remember up to that point, but he was winning the striking exchanges. He was being aggressive, and he was winning the takedowns. So my thing is like he was the Glover looked like he was what's it called, conserving
hmm,
conserving. And so I
yeah,
do think that he was tired. So that's why he dove for that takedown, so that he can get him to the ground and just hold him there, so that they could so that he could recover.
right.
But uh yeah, and I think that's why he dove for the guillotine as well. He was just tired, man.
Just
You,
tired, man. Just
yo,
exhausted.
he fights out of Danbury.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I was like,
Yeah,
wow. I was like, wow, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, he could have won, man, but he just made that fatal mistake. Like I said, like had they, I mean, either one of them, they could have won the fight. But like that last round, since Yuri was getting hurt so badly with those punches, I would have gave it to
yeah,
Glover.
man. I mean, dude, look, Yuri was piecing Glover up when he was sticking to he has his super unorthodox style, but when he was sticking to
It was
that
working.
to
It
the
was working for him.
fundamentals, when he was sticking to the fundamentals,
Yeah,
I mean, he has the unorthodox style,
yeah,
like, but
yeah.
he still has his fundamentals. But when we was sticking to his fundamentals, he
Mhm.
was honestly
Moving,
really,
hitting, did not get hit, swimming,
yeah,
trying to get wet. He was doing good. He was on standing up game. On the
yeah.
guard game. Glover was taking it. Of
Yeah,
course,
Glover is a freaking practitioner, man. When it comes to Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I mean, if you're just looking at grappling, if you're just looking at jiu-jitsu, I mean, Glover is just like it's just not even close. So for Yuri, but like like Yuri, they've said that like Yuri is like the Tony Ferguson of the light heavyweight division because he is a very good improviser. He's very good at learning in a fight, just like how John Jones is very good at learning in the midst of a fight, like learning something new, like a new technique, like learning, okay, like I have to get out of this position, like I have to get out doing this. Like they'll just learn that
Right.
in the midst of the fight.
Right. They adapt. They're very good adapters.
Just very very athletic,
Uh,
very very yeah, just very good at adapting. And so for Yuri to uh to escape Glover's full mount when fighters who are more seasoned than him and who are who are better grapplers who
mm,
have not been able to do that. Um, like for example, Jan Blachowicz just got submitted by Glover Teixeira in their last fight. Jan is a
right.
black belt.
Right. Right. Right.
Jan is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Jan Blachowicz is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So for Yuri Prohaska to come out and submit Glover Teixeira is unbelievable. I
Just
mean, I
MMA or
can't,
UFC is just full of surprises, man.
bro. I can't wait to see what this guy does
Who do
in
you fight next? Who is he fighting next?
Jan Blachowicz. He fights Blachowicz next for
Okay.
sure. I think he
Okay.
fights. I think he fights Blachowicz next.
Does he
Um,
win?
yeah.
I think he wins, eh?
I mean, bro, look. At the end of the day, you cannot fuck around with Jan's power because Jan, I mean, when you look at like for example what he did with Dominic Reyes, I mean, what both Yuri and Jan Blachowicz did with Dominic Reyes was insane because Dominic Reyes had a fight with John Jones and John Jones won that fight by split decision.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, so he had an absolute war with John Jones, and so for him to get knocked out by Jan, for Jan to do that to him, and for also Yuri to do that to him,
Mhm.
um,
That says a lot.
yeah, it just it says a lot about it. Like it doesn't take away anything from Dominic Reyes because Dominic Reyes is a warrior, and
Right.
Jan,
And
and
styles make fights, of course. Styles make fights.
it's just power, man. It's just like it just shows you that in the UFC or in MMA or especially in like the light heavyweight or the heavyweight division, just
Mhm.
anything can happen at any
Anything.
time
Anything.
because
Anything.
it was literally in both fights. It was literally just a matter of Dominic Reyes getting caught
Mhm.
of him getting caught with shots like with Jan it was a straight right he got caught with and Jan's power is just ridiculous. He set it up perfectly. Jan's jab, he talks about it being like a gift from God. There's just so much power in it. He just set it
Mhm.
up. He set it up perfectly and he took him out. Um, Obviously in that he set it up and then the next shot. I mean, when you set up one shot, um, obviously you know when you set it up with the jab
Mhm.
or like even when you're coming from this side with the left hook, when you set it up with the cross, when you're
Mhm.
just in that position, it's just gonna have so much more power. So when you see he set up that shot with the jab, and he was already, you know, right here, that cross just landed with just so much power. It just took all the juice from his knees, and he just started wobbling, bro. You know, noodles
Right.
and whatnot
Noodle.
and
Noodle.
whatnot. And then Yuri just caught him with a spinning elbow, man. It was just anything can happen, man. But I'm very excited to see what Yuri is gonna do in this division.
Mhm.
Because I've been waiting. I've just been waiting for somebody. I mean, John Jones. You know obviously some people are gonna argue that what he did comes with its caveats or whatnot. But he, without a doubt, you can't argue the entertainment value. You can't argue against the entertainment value. Um, he just left big shoes to fill, and so I've
Right.
been waiting for someone.
Right.
Um,
When does he fight again? And he's fighting at light. He's fighting at heavyweight, right?
he is fighting at heavyweight.
Okay. So, and all the things that he did before was lightweight, heavyweight.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
Okay. Okay. So, is this his first time moving up?
yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, so
wow.
he always fought in light heavyweight.
Okay.
Um, so for him to come up to heavyweight, so fights for him. Um,
Like, who does he? Is he fight? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I know he wants more money, and I get that,
yeah,
right? But is he fighting? Is he going to fight? Like,
yeah. I mean,
and also,
yes, yes. For I'm
is
gonna opt
Ngannou
yes.
Is Ngannou gonna win? Is Ngannou gonna fight, or is he leaving the UFC?
That's a good question. I don't. I'm actually not entire. So okay. So the thing is, because Ngannou is still champion, like hit that the his contract has a championship clause in it.
Okay.
So it, I mean, it extends every time he defends his belt successfully. His contract extends. So
Mm-hmm.
my bad, my fucking chair is squeaking. But
That's fine.
so every time he wins a fight, his contract is gonna extend one fight.
Mm-hmm.
So if he loses his next fight, I mean,
So
if he loses his next fight, it's basically a toss up. So
okay. Okay.
yes, but they as for the last thing I heard was that Ngannou's team in the UFC were not able to come to an agreement. Essentially, what happens is Ngannou wants to be able to he wants to be able to be a champion in the UFC. He wants to be able to fight in the UFC, but he wants to be able to leave in box. And essentially, the UFC is just not going to be able to do that. The UFC is not going to do that essentially for the same reason that the UFC for a long time were very reluctant to have Kimbo Slice. Um, the UFC is very afraid of any fighter becoming bigger than the brand of the UFC.
Wow. Okay.
So
Okay. I didn't know that.
so yes, so this is why they are very reluctant to have unification bouts. So this is why they're very reluctant to have a boxing model and
Right.
something like that because
Right.
nobody knows, bro. Nobody gives a shit about the WBA or the WBC or all these players. I can't even name them because nobody cares about them. Like
Right.
they like you care about the fighters
Right.
essentially. But the UFC, they want to maintain this position where they have the greatest talent. They
Mm-hmm.
want to maintain this position where like fighters are like, I have to make it to the UFC. But this is before they know much about the business and
Right.
before they're like before it's just before it's about money and it's about just like a dream that they have. They're like, I want to make it to the UFC.
Right.
And
That's like
they want to maintain that.
right. It's like a standard.
Yes, and so they want to maintain that, and so they are not going to do
Oh,
anything
okay. I
that
get what you're
puts that
saying.
in jeopardy.
I get what you're saying because they can get if that changes, they'll know that they can go other places to get what they want.
Yes, yeah. Essentially, the UFC they have leverage. They have the most leverage in MMA. Like that, like it's ridiculous because like there's no other place that you are going to go where you can get the level essentially where you can get the exposure where you can
Right.
get the opportunities that you're gonna have in the UFC. Like obviously, if you go to they have promotions like ONE FC, they have promotions like Bellator, the PFL. Do they have other professional, you know,
Right.
fighting organizations? They
Yeah.
they they have other MMA organizations that are high level. Especially you have people like if you look at ONE FC, you have people like Demetrius Johnson,
Mhm.
over in ONE FC now. Um, but like it's just a thing where the UFC they have so much leverage and they don't want to lose it. Like they're not going to give it up because if they let Ngannou go in box, then Ngannou becomes a bigger name essentially.
Yeah. He becomes a superstar.
The only time the only time they're gonna let something like that happen is if they have something to gain from it.
Hmm.
Like when they let Connor go in box, I
Right.
wasn't. I'm not like I was. I used to be pretty up, well versed on the situation in that fight. But they made money. They made a lot of money off that fight. The UFC did.
Okay.
So just there's just nothing. There's nothing for the UFC to. The UFC will not do anything if there's nothing for them to gain. The
Right. Right.
UFC will only do anything if there's something for them to gain.
Right.
Essentially, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You have to like the Connor. The thing is, Connor is such a draw. He's the biggest draw in the sport. So
Mm.
he's a much bigger draw than Ngannou is. So
Right,
Connor has leverage
right,
in
right,
that
right.
he can, so he's like, I can go and box Floyd because like I can make the UFC money as
Mm,
well.
mm.
And but like there's I to be honest, bro, like what do you, I'm gonna know what you think about like in comparison to like Conor versus Mayweather, what, how big of a fight do you think it would be Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou in
Well,
comparison?
it doesn't compare at all, but it is a big fight. The thing is, Tyson Fury, he's only big because he fought Deontay Wilder, right? Deontay Wilder pulled him out and, pulled him out of his, depression or whatever, pulled him out and made him famous. Now he was only really known in the UK before they fought.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? But once Deontay Wilder, which was he's still the biggest, he's probably the biggest draw in boxing, if not Canelo. Canelo's big, he's big, but
Mm-hmm.
it's Canelo and Deontay Wilder are the biggest draws in boxing, even
I
today.
agree. I
You know
agree.
what I'm saying? Because people love Deontay Wilder's power. They want to see him knock dudes out because that's what he was doing for his
Yeah.
40 fights. That's what he
Canelo
did.
just rolls off the tongue.
You know what I'm saying? He's all right, you know what I'm saying? So the knockout. So um it's not gonna sell as much as it's not gonna even compare to Mayweather Connor.
Mm.
Um, because
Yeah, 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 yeah.
both of those guys built their legacy on their own. Connor built his legacy by being Connor, and Mayweather, Mayweather, right? Everyone in the world knows Mayweather, they've heard
Pretty
of his
boy
name,
Floyd, yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? So the thing about Tyson Fury is that someone essentially built his superstardom. And Ngannou, I mean, not really too much
And
people know.
Ngannou can't sell a fight like as far as he's
He's
just
not
not
that
a
big.
draw.
He's just not that big. Not too many people know him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we only know him because we're into fighting, but everyone knows Mayweather. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone knows
Everyone
Connor.
knows McGregor. They may not even know their fighters, but they've heard their names. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it'll be a big fight though. It'll sell pretty
Yeah.
well. It might do like 500,000 pay-per-views. Um, if it does a million, I'll be impressed, but it might do 500, and that's probably where I'd say it caps out.
That is insane numbers.
I mean, it's
Crazy.
put it to you like this: Canelo sold 800,000 when he fought Caleb Plant.
Damn.
That's not even a big fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Not even a big fight, and I was personally shocked when that happened, but and in the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight, there was 25 million illegal streams. 25 million illegal. I don't know how much
Oh,
it sold,
oh,
but
dog. That's
yeah,
like that's like burning money.
it's insane.
That's insane,
It's
man.
ins- it's insane how much money they're losing today. Um, I don't know what they can do to fix it personally. I don't know what they can do to fix it because I mean, I'm only gonna pay for fights that I think are worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the
Yeah,
Crawford and Errol Spence, I'll pay for that fight. I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'll go to the fight, but
I
you
pay
know,
for most fights.
right? You know what I'm saying? But like fights that I don't think should even be happening. I mean, I'll watch them, but I don't. Like a lot of things like that. It's like that in boxing a lot, where a lot of these fights, bro, they shouldn't be happening. They're not right. They're not the right fights. They're not good fights. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is about UFC is that if
Mm,
you want to fight in UFC, if you want to see the best, fight the best, you're gonna get it.
yeah,
You're gonna get it within a year, max. You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
If you have
That's
a
the thing, man.
I'm saying if you have a feeling that this dude is getting up on the in the ranks and you think
Hmm.
you should find the best guy,
So
you
that
wait 2 months, that's gonna happen. But in boxing, that it may not happen for 4 to 3 to 5 to 6 years. That is in boxing because they wait and they try to make the fight marinate, but then someone loses and it loses its value. That's what happened with Deontay Wilder and AJ. AJ and Deontay Wilder should have fought years ago, but what happened was Eddie Hearn and the fans basically talked AJ into not fighting Deontay Wilder. And then like if you were to tell someone 4 years ago that the two fighters fighting for undisputed were Usyk and AJ, or sorry, and Tyson Fury, people would say you're crazy. Well, this is
Oh
what happened.
wow.
Right,
Oh
right,
shit, that is about to happen.
right, right. Well, that's what they're gonna say, but
That's crazy.
right, but 4 years ago, the undisputed fight should have been AJ versus Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
they didn't make it happen because they're stupid and they keep dropping the ball. But
And
Deontay Wilder won
because
that fight, man. Deontay Wilder won the fight. And they dropped the ball on it, and that could have been
yeah.
that probably would have been the biggest fight in recent.
Yeah, but what you were saying about that, like about Ngannou.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's essentially why the UFC is not going to allow him to go and do that because he's just not a big enough draw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I
just
mean
not a
you
big
said
draw.
it. You broke it down. You said it.
He's not a big draw, man. Like I mean, he has a. I don't want to say he doesn't have the potential, but it's just the personality, man. Like, and you don't have to be disrespectful at all. But I don't think it's in his nature to be. I don't know how to explain it, man. Like,
It's
some
not. I what you mean it's not in his nature to be to talk shit before
right,
or to.
and
It's not the fakeness. I mean, I know what you mean. It's
yeah,
fake because I know what you're talking about, bro. Because
yeah,
it is fake.
it is
It is
fake.
it's fake, and it's like because like I've thought about that too, bro. Like if I were to ever get into
Mhm.
like ever fight,
Oh yeah,
I
trust me.
I
I
just
thought about it
don't
too.
know.
I thought
I
about it.
just don't know, bro. If I would ever be able to like I would talk shit just because like but it would be really me talking shit.
Right, right. Just because that's you. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
But the fake part,
I would really
the
talk
fake
shit,
part,
man.
exactly. It's the fake part
I
is
I'd
where
be
it
out
comes
there like Dominic Cruz, dude.
from.
I'd really be out there. Nah, Dominic Cruz is different.
You
But
should listen to this. You should see this guy. I think his name is Ray Mayorga. This dude slapped Shane Mosley's girlfriend's ass in the weigh-in or in the face-off.
what?
Yeah, bro, it was
Dog,
insane.
you have you have to die, bro. You have to die when we fight.
I'm gonna tell you the video. Shane Mosley like grabbed him, but there were so many guys, But no, like if that ever happens, bro, I
Dude,
like see. I'm telling you, bro.
that's a different level of disrespect, dog.
I would jump, do a Superman jump, and strangle a dude. I'm killing him. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what I have to do, but you're not gonna do that. No way, no how. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
who does that though?
I'm telling you, bro, that guy, and he got knocked out in that fight. I think Ray Mayer.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, bro. He should have knocked him out and
He was
pissed
like
on his fucking grave.
next level disrespect. Next level disrespect.
He should have knocked him out and then spit his mouthpiece on him.
Yeah. But even the funny part is like his girl was like, "You should have killed him. You should have killed him." You know what I'm saying? It's the funniest shit, but you know, that's boxing, man. Like so, a guy like Ngannou, I just don't, and the thing is like he comes from a very humble background, so it's kind of hard for him to really be on some, some hot boy shit. Like it's just tough. I don't see him being a big draw, and even personally, bro, I think he gets knocked out. Um,
He does have a chin. I think he
okay,
needs crisp boxing, bro.
huh?
He needs to have crisper boxing.
CRISPR
If he
box. Okay,
if
maybe he
he,
doesn't get knocked. If he can weather the storm and not get knocked out, but he won't beat Tyson Fury. Wait, how big is Ngannou? How big is he?
he's big, bro. He's 6'4", 275.
No, he's not six. He's 6'4".
Yeah,
Bro, Tyson Fury is 6'9",
yeah, I know.
and Deontay Wilder is 6'7".
Yeah,
So Fury is a big dude, bro. Like
Fury's
Fury,
massive, man.
Fury,
Fury might be the baddest man on the planet, bro. Like, really, no. Like, think about it though. In an actual fight to the death, who do you think would win, Francis Ngannou or Tyson Fury?
to the death. Well, I'll
Yeah.
say Tyson Fury because he'd probably cheat and kick him in the ball, kick him in the ball and shoot him. You feel me? To the death. That's a different. You know, um, bro.
Ah, dead.
Not a-
You say
he
because
can
he
box.
probably cheat.
Yeah, man, he can box, but he's just a known cheater, man. Like it's been proven already. Like even it's crazy because even in the third Deontay Wilder fight, bro, he technically lost
The
because
third fight, how?
Deontay Wilder knocked him down and he was on the ground for 15 seconds.
He,
But
I
well,
would like to add a point to that.
mm,
I would I heard that as well. However, I heard that because um Deontay left his corner, then the count stopped.
okay, this is what happened. This is what's supposed to happen in boxing. If you're not in the corner and the referee has to stop counting, when they resume counting, they look at the timekeeper, and the timekeeper is supposed to give them.
Okay, okay. See, this is what confused me because I knew about the timekeeper, but I was under the uh assumption that
Right.
leaving your corner stops the count, like stops the time on the
It
count.
stops the referee from counting, but they have a timekeeper to let them know when they resume back. And if you watch the fight, he resume like he stops counting for like 7 seconds and like goes back to and he starts at where he left off. Like he does, you know what I'm saying? Like it goes like one, two, three, four, five, and then Deontay Wilder is like not in the right place, so he stops and moves him, and it's like I'm telling you, it's like 7 seconds, and he goes back to counting. He's like six, seven, and by then it's literally 15 seconds have passed, and those matter, bro. Like those seconds really matter when when you're disorientated, bro, and you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like those couple seconds, bro, those are major. You know what I'm saying? So and then in the first fight too, there was a 10 count, and you know what the referee said? They asked the referee why did they give Tyson Fury more time, right? They asked him because they had an interview with him. He
Mm.
said he wanted to give Tyson Fury the benefit of the doubt. That's his exact words.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, that's not much of a dispute. Just no, there's no dispute there.
That's just you know what I'm saying. Like it's just crazy, bro, because this happened twice now.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where people have given him an advantage just off. You know what I'm saying? Like he literally got knocked. Technically, he got knocked out twice. Put to you that way.
Yeah.
Technically, he was knocked out twice, and both times the referee screwed up, gave him the benefit of the doubt, and didn't cost him the fight. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it's
Okay.
just sad, man. It's just sad. Like
Yeah. All right. I want to.
in those two that changed the history of boxing. I'm not gonna lie. Like you know, well, what really changed the history of boxing is Tyson Fury, or sorry, Deontay Wilder and AJ not fighting. That changed the whole history of boxing. Because had they had fought, they would have had the undisputed champion. But
In
they didn't.
heavyweight, there's no undisputed. So wait, which weight classes have an undisputed champion right now?
Right now, 154, 168, 135, and that's it. Yeah, it's only three right now. But there's about to be, but we're gonna get undisputed for welterweight, which is Tyson, or sorry, which is what is his name? Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. You feel me? So
Hmm.
we're gonna get that fight this year. And it's gonna
See,
be undisputed, man. That's gonna be a
okay,
major fight, man.
that's the thing, man. It's just like it's mixed feelings, man. Because I want MMA to operate like that. I want them to have actual undisputed champions in
So for
MMA.
undisputed in UFC, is it just two belts or one belt?
In the UFC, one belt.
One belt. Yeah. See, and I don't think that's something wrong, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't make it feel special because there's only
It's
one belt.
not.
But
It's
the
like,
less
yeah.
belts are better though. Less belts are better though. So you know what I'm saying, like because I already explained the shit to you with the boxing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think less belts are better as well.
Yeah, because it confuses things. Like I told you, bro. Tank Davis is the WBA regular champion, but it's so stupid, bro. But Devin Haney is the super champion. Like it's just dumb. It's stupid. It's literally the most stupid thing, bro. Like
What does it even mean?
it doesn't even, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like okay, I wouldn't mind if there were still four belts, but there were
Because
just the four belts though. But in this thing,
wait. So is there four belts because there's four promotions, or is there four belts because each promotion has four belts? Like the WBC has four belts, is what you're saying, or WBA rather. Sorry.
the four belts are the four